This will be one of the most useful Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Today we discuss the Ultra Beast Xurkitree that is coming this summer. On June 22nd, Pokemon Go officially announced 3 Ultra Beasts were debuting during each of the Pokemon Go Fest: Pheromosa in Berlin, Buzzwole in Seattle, and Xurkitree in Japan. I'm incredibly excited to make this video because Xurkitree is going to be an absolute beast, and since the hype is at an all-time high, let's go ahead and talk about how Xurkitree is going to fare in Pokemon Go. Xurkitree is a pure electric type Pokemon, which fortunately is one of the most overpowered types in this game, and here are Xurkitree's projected stats. For a maxed out level 50 best buddy, Xurkitree maxes out at 4504 CP, which is pretty gosh darn great. It's got an attack stat of 330, which is super good. That's like elite level attack. It's got a defense of 144, which isn't horrible. I guess that's average. And its HP is going to be 195, which is pretty solid. That's like in the top 25% of Pokemon. This Pokemon is going to be really good. We'll talk more about it in a second. In terms of CP, it has the third highest amongst all electric type Pokemon, behind only Mega Ampharos and Zekrom. Not only does it have one of the best attacks, it's also got one of the biggest CPs for electric types. But all that being said, let me tell you why Xurkitree is going to be the most useful Pokemon in this game. For the most part, legendary Pokemon are usually the best Pokemon in the game, and a majority of legendary Pokemon are flying types, and what are flying types weak to? Electric types. So if you put all that together, the stats and the typing that Xurkitree has will allow it to shred through most of the legendary Pokemon in this game. Of course, fingers crossed it gets the right moveset, but I think we'll be okay. And I'm sure you guys want to see what the shiny looks like. Boom! There it is. Shiny Xurkitree. Very cool. It's got a nice blue and gold and white. Really unique colors. Really unique design. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and say it's my favorite Ultra Beast of all time. Now, I would say Xurkitree compares best to, and I mean this with all due respect, the GOAT, Rayquaza. They're both incredible attackers, and they're both super dope. I think that's a pretty good comparison. Let's go ahead and take a look at Xurkitree versus Rayquaza. So in terms of head-to-head stats, Xurkitree has almost 50 more attack than Rayquaza does. In terms of defense, Rayquaza's got about a 25 defense advantage. And in terms of HP, Rayquaza's got about 20 more HP. Again, the stats are pretty similar, except there's a really big gap in attack when it comes to Xurkitree. Obviously, these Pokemon have different typings, but this is still important. And taking a look at the damage per second and the total damage output between the two, with almost every moveset, Xurkitree out DPS's Rayquaza, which is crazy. As you can see, its best DPS moveset is Thunder Shock and Discharge, compared to Rayquaza's best DPS moveset of Dragon Tail and Outrage, and Rayquaza loses that battle. However, Rayquaza does win in total damage output by a pretty good margin. That's where the difference in stats comes into play, because Rayquaza does have a little bit better defense and HP, but they're pretty similar. I think this is a fair judgment. I cannot wait for Xurkitree to come to Pokemon Go. It is going to be one of my favorite Pokemon. I already know it. And of course, it should be one of the most useful Pokemon in this entire game. Let me know your thoughts on Xurkitree. Don't forget to check out the video I did on Pheromosa and Buzzwole. And of course, let me know what Pokemon you guys want me to deep dive into next.